Welcome to the morning show with Dave and Rob on the Southern Fried Podcast. We get you up, we start you right, we rock your mornings all the time. Grab your coffee and your smile, join on in for a while. Hear that rooster sing, coffee's ready for a fling. Southern Fried has news for you. Updates on life's going on, and maybe a joke or two. Get up, pray up, and coffee up. Welcome to the morning show with Dave and Rob on the Southern Fried Podcast. We get you up, we start you right, we rock your mornings all the time. Grab your coffee and your smile, join on in for a while. We got laughs, we got prayer, celebrate our nation every day. Love our vets, love our land. It's the home of the free and the land of the brave. Get up, pray up, coffee up. Welcome to the morning show with Dave and Rob on the Southern Fried Podcast. We get you up, we start you right, we rock your mornings all the time. Grab your coffee and your smile, join on in for a while. So come on in and have a blast, for a good time that will last. Start your day with a smile, with the hosts that do the most. And get up, pray up, coffee up. Welcome to the morning show with Dave and Rob on the Southern Fried Podcast. We get you up.
Sorry, didn't mean to tell it twice. Good morning.
Good morning.
New day.
David.
Well, kind of overslept a little bit, but got her done.
All right.
Monday morning, rocking a Monday.
Yep. We are rocking it.
Good morning to everybody. Hope your day is kicking off real well. Thanks for joining us and letting us be a part of that kickoff. And a new day for the Southern Fried, our own coffees.
Yes. We are on the ground and running.
Kind of was starting to push that out last night with some of the streams with promos. We'll continue that into today. And as people see that, some people see it a day or two after, but many see them immediately. So a new day for us.
Yeah. We have our own coffee, the SFP brand.
40 around 40 blends, teas, got all kind of options. We'll load some of our new logos up into the merch store and get them on coffee mugs and stuff. That way you can have SFP cup and coffee. That's pretty cool.
Yes, it is. And I think you and I are officially both actual customers now.
We are. We are customers of our own coffee. I think it's it's like a most things like a 2 or 3 day. For most places it might take another day depending on where you're at, but most places fulfillment is pretty quick. It's not going to take 2 weeks unless you're on top of a mountain somewhere and they can't find you.
And then
there are places in America that's hard to find. I got a friend. He don't work there anymore, but I used to work with him. At least where he lives, the GPS always threw off the delivery drivers, and they would always go to his neighbor's house. So he said my packages always came by way of my neighbor. Every time they would drop off at my neighbor's house, neighbor would come home and say, "Oh, got another package."
Yeah. Wow.
And then good thing it wasn't Porch Pirates.
Yeah, no doubt.
Usually he would just let him know, "Hey, I got something on the way," so he would know to be on the lookout for it because they never got it right. It always threw them off.
That's like me. I got my mailbox up next to my uncle's because this road out here used to be so bad. A lot of times the mailman couldn't even make it down the road. I spent 4 years fighting them to finally get it fixed. And I'm still leaving my mailbox up there. So,
well, when I came see you, the GPS turned me the wrong way.
Yeah, the GPS still does that down here.
I figured it out, but
yeah, they'll turn me in the wrong direction. But I do show up on the satellite map now when they take the one up in the air. You can tell I'm here. All right, I want to pull this up this morning. We have kicked off our Liga Ag Fest. They had their art show and dinner Saturday night. Yesterday they had their bake off. I didn't make it to, and I wanted to. Thursday, July 17th, this Thursday coming up, they're going to have the Mitchell Baker Farmer Appreciation Dinner. And this Saturday, July the 19th, they're going to have the Sawega Ag Fest Barbecue Chicken Cook-Off and the Sawega Ag Fest Festival. So the private podcast is going to be there live for the Ag Fest Festival. Y'all come on out. If you're down here in this area, Milla and surrounding areas, y'all come on out and check this thing out. We're going to be there. Said all the booths are filled up on the inside. So we definitely going to go out there and sample us some barbecue chicken. You darn skippy. And then it's going to wind up the next Saturday on July 26th at the beauty pageant. They're going to have the Swig Ag Fest Baby and Junior Miss pageant. And then at 2 o'clock, and then the Swig Ag Fest Teen and Miss pageant will be at 6 o'clock. We got some beauty queens down here. We got some cooking kings down here. It's going to be a fun couple of weeks. So let's get on out and support Camilla and our farmers, and let's make this a festival to remember, guys. Oh, me and David's going to be out there running around like chickens with their heads cut off. Well, maybe not quite like chickens with their heads cut off.
It's an old saying. I've never actually seen that, but my dad talked about it.
When you get do away with the chicken,
well, their bodies will sometimes do crazy things.
They will.
Take that head off. My dad lived on a sharecrop. And the person the sharecrop for had chicken houses. So they could eat all the chicken they wanted. He got sick of it. He wouldn't eat chicken for years. He said, I had chicken every day of my life. It wasn't until late in life he would go to KFC. He just never liked it.
Wow.
They could grow anything they want. They planted a lot of acres, something like 40 acres. They could grow all the food, but they had to take care of these chicken houses. He had a bunch of brothers and, sisters. And it was a farming. They were farmers. And then later on, my grandfather, once the kids were kind of up and grown, you lose your farm hands. He turned into an insurance salesman. But their early days was all on the farm, tending to chickens and growing crops and all that goes with that. But a lot of people don't realize just how close we're connected to those kinds of days. They think that's, something that way, 100 years ago. It's not that long ago, really. My dad was born in 41, so up in the 40s, 50s, into the early 60s, they were farming. Sharecropping, not just farming, they sharecrop.
Wow.
Tough times.
Yeah. Yes. That's a hard life.
And there's a lot of people in America probably don't even have a connection to that. They've just lost with time. They don't realize the whole idea of sharecropping. They don't even realize what that meant, Times were tough in the South for all people. Poor, very, very poor. But always had food on the table. Worked hard, played hard. My dad and his brothers, they played some really dangerous games, but that's how they occupied their time. They had this thing where apparently it was pretty big back in the day. They would take knives and see if they could throw it between the gaps of your toes. I'm not playing that game. I don't want nobody throwing a knife at my toes.
No. I'm not letting nobody throw no knife at my toes. No. I look around and I'm still getting idiotic stuff posted on my page at times. And I had a thing here posted from U.S. Democratic Socialist, and they got a follow button right there, which I am not going to touch. But it's one of those little memes or whatever. It says Mexico provided aid more quickly to Texas flood victims than Donald and Christie's FEMA. Congrats, everyone. Y'all know how screwed up FEMA is to start with. And all this help that Mexico sent was a 13 to 20 man team. They said 13 to 20 people. I'm getting conflicting reports on that. Either it was 13 or it was 20. I mean, come on. It's not like they sent a bunch of help. They barely got anybody across to help.
People don't realize how that's supposed to work anyway. The state asks for help if they need it. In the midst of it, there's not a whole lot you can do other than search and rescue. They asked for helicopters and stuff, and those were sent.
Yes.
But while the water is raging through the countryside, not a whole lot anybody can do. It's all search and rescue. And they did send help. They sent all that they were asked to send. Said, absolutely. What do you need? It's a play on words.
Yeah.
It's funny. It depends on. It really depends on who's in office. Now, we live in areas where to be federal actually has a bad name for a long time. Moonshiners and stuff, federals. They didn't want federals nosing around. And a lot of people would say, I don't have nothing to do with the federal government. Necessary evil. And others would brag about, feds but it switches around. It really does switch around. I'll be honest, I don't want a whole lot to do with the federal government. But what I want them to do is their job. Just do their job and not waste money and blah, 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 blah. Protect the country mainly. I mean, that's the main function of your government is to protect its citizens. And then after that, but really the state should be taking the lead on all. I said this back the previous administration when North Carolina got hit and everything else. Give them the resources. The money you're using comes from the state anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I thought set up regional emergency disaster zones, and in those zones have everything you need, and let the state, have access or have it be theirs anyway. Just fund it, and let them be able to put those things into practice. So they can respond quicker than trying to truck something from hundreds of miles away or whatever. And I'm sure they've got some sort of zones now, but let the state be the lead on that. They know what they need more than anybody else.
Yep.
And each state has its own emergency disaster prepared team. I know a guy that's on this. He's on the not the committee or whatever they call it, but the board for ones in Alabama and Georgia. They meet all the time. They meet with the local fire chiefs. They have disaster plans in place. They work on those things they might need. And so it's not like they just all of a sudden are hands out to the government. They just need sometimes extra support. Obviously, when it comes to the money, that's the big thing is the money.
Yeah, you're right.
The loans to be able to put people's lives back together. I would just like to see something put in place because sadly, the eventual odds are the administration is going to be filled with a different kind of president. And we go through the whole same crap again. If you go ahead and set it up now to where it's more state driven, then maybe we get around some of that. Because they were so inept in the last administration. I mean, they just left those people waffling in the wind, And if they want to brag on Mexico, come on.
Yeah,
they really want to go there? Really want to brag on Mexico?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Their contributions have been to poor people over the border, drugs over the border, cartels shooting across the border. You got to love it. Not.
Now they're raising Cain about alligator Alcatraz. Oh, you can't treat people like that. You can't do people like that. Oh, this is horrible what you're doing. I ain't seen a damn thing about Biden and them doing that and worse over the last 4 years. Didn't even report on it. They had people pinned up in parking lots out in the heat and everything else. Don't even report on it. Not a word to say. Come on, you jacklegs. There ain't no fairness or rightness in media anymore at all. There is no comprehensive news coverage. It's all politically oriented. All of it. Just about. It's all to make the American people feel smarter, I guess. I mean, why in the heck would you just go and report one side? Unless you're just catering to that side. You're just telling them what they want to hear. You're not telling them news. You're just telling them what they want to hear. It makes them feel smart.
And some people, if they only read one source of news, they just get brainwashed by that. They're not independent thinkers. They just go with what they see.
Yeah.
You know.
We're going to tell you what to think and what to believe. You don't have to worry about that. We'll just tell you. And, it sounds like when we're talking about this, we're talking about the 1984 novel, the word police and all that kind of stuff. But really and truly, look around. If you've never read that novel, please do. And look around. It's very close, dude.
Yeah. And I really hate it when people say, you just don't understand. I hate that. Like I'm not intelligent, I'm not smart enough to figure it out, that I haven't studied on it. I hate when I say that. I say, listen, don't go there. You have one way of looking at it, I have another way. And then they start going, facts are facts. I hear that a lot. Facts are facts.
Okay.
I've got the receipts. I can show you the receipts. Facts are facts. Good morning, Miss
Good
Jim.
morning. Yeah. Facts and facts. No. There's facts, then there's distorted propaganda somebody put out. And it happens on both sides. It's not one side or the other. It's both sides, left and right. And, let's distort something and put it out there. Ugh. Just keep right on drinking the Kool-Aid.
I'm still always struck by Ronald Reagan's, his quote. The scariest words you'll ever hear is, "Hey, I'm here from the federal government. I'm here to help from the federal government." He said that.
Yeah, I'm from the government. I'm here to help.
It's true. They don't usually help. It's usually a hindrance. Maybe it's changing, but government complicates things. Red tape, regulation, control.
That's probably one of the reasons why, like, FEMA goes out. All right, it's a predominantly white neighborhood that gets hit. Oh, we have to help so many people of color before we help these white people or whatever. I mean, they got numbers and stuff they have to meet, so they can prove that they're not being racist or whatever. Ugh. There's a lot of stuff that goes on with that. And you talking about red tape. And with red tape with FEMA, I hope they fix that where they just give them $250 to completely rebuild their lives with. They give them $250, then they have to reapply, then they get denied, and all this other stuff. I hope they fix some of that stuff. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That whole thing was almost an utter failure.
And all those people, I've seen some snarky comments online about people building in flood zones. We're talking a generational top flood. This 100-year flood plan or whatever. Well, how about all the rich people that build their houses right on the eroding shoreline of an ocean? They want people to have sympathy when their house falls into the ocean. These people didn't do nothing wrong. They're trying to say they weren't intelligent. They didn't build their house in the right place. Somebody built the house. They bought it. They just don't think about nothing like that happening.
And if people thought that much about it happening, nobody would live in New Orleans in the whole damn city. It's all in a flood zone.
Yeah.
You just trashed New Orleans. Talking about people building in a flood zone.
The people that talk about, well, I was smart. I built up on a hill. Well, you ever heard of mudslides?
Mm-hmm.
The side of a mountain can come crashing down. There are things that just can happen. I mean, when nature pours it on, if it pours it on enough, there's nobody safe. I mean, come on. I just hate that. While people are still being searched for, we got people out trying to be Mr. Know-it-all or Miss Know-it-all, snarky comments. Not even found all the people yet. They just found some kids here in the last day or so. It's heartbreaking. Let's pray for these families. I mean, the area I live has some really low areas, and I can remember times of really bad flooding. Scary.
It is.
And the people that say, well, I live up on a hill. Well, we had straight line winds that come through and knocked out mass amount of trees, destroyed property and homes. That's happened some in the last few years. Well, the people that were down low, they didn't get damaged much because it mainly was hitting, up on the sides of those hills. And so it doesn't matter where you are. You have a different level of danger that can come from weather, tornado, hurricane, whatever it is, massive amounts of water, the rain coming down itself, flooding, Man hasn't solved flooding yet, and he's not going to.
No.
When you put millions of gallons of water in an area, your flood plan goes out the window.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's just amazing. It really is. But that's the way people are.
When they were working on my road out there, they were trying to actually fix the water runoff from the top of the hill. All right, we'll fix this up here, and that'll control the runoff at the bottom.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with that kind of intelligence, it's kind of hard to function.
Well, and some people get elected, they really don't have a clue about some of that stuff. They just got elected. They may not have any experience with dealing with anything like that. But my heart goes out to them.
Yeah.
Birthdays today. Conor McGregor is 36 years old. Oh, Conor. He gets him. Franklin Graham is 72. Opposite ends of the spectrum there. Who else here? I wanted to cover one more. I'm trying to remember who it was. Gerald Ford. Born this day, on this day. 1913. Gerald Ford, ex-president of the United States of America, was known as a bad golfer, wearing ugly golf pants. He had a bad slice in his game.
Yes.
I have elections tomorrow. It's a runoff election. We'll have a few come in, so we'll be back together, the gang. I'll probably try to come on when I get home if I'm not too awful tired. And but that's, glad to take part, glad to get together the team. We've got to meet at election headquarters today, and I'm the backup key holder for the precinct. I always tell the manager, you can't be out. I don't want nothing to do with that. Nah, we could do it. There's help there, and I know. I'm always glad when I see him when we get to the precinct. And he pulls up. I'm like, praise the Lord. We support each other. And then the next will be in the fall, the fall will be November. There'll be a small election, but next year, big election, midterms. So that will be very big. Don't forget, folks, tonight we have Mama Said, Miss Elizabeth, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And the coffee shop is open. Please visit. We'll have other things that go in our Shopify shop, but right now our coffee shop is attached to our Shopify, and we'll be expanding that given time. I want to say I appreciate Angry Conservative 1981 who rated the channel last night, brought some folks with us or to us, and they were nice enough to give us a follow. Thanks so much. And to James, Empty Pockets Podcast. Both these are Rumble creators, podcasters. Please give them a follow. Great folks. James come up, and we had a good discussion. He's a good guy. Both of them are Angry Conservative and Empty Pockets Podcast.
Dave, you've got control over that. Can we ban that one?
I cannot do that right now. I was trying to ignore it. I don't have the ability right now to do that. So just so you know, there's just nothing I can do at this moment. So I'll take care of it. I just can't.
Thank you.
I can close the channel. That's all I can do. That's what you want me to do. But I can't. For right now, I just can't. It won't let me. So.
Okay. Well, guys, I'm going to apologize for that guy that's out there spewing that stuff. I guess this will be his last day on the show, period. That's why there's two of us on here. Somebody can talk and type, and some other one can talk and go. And sometimes you just have people that absolutely try to turn somebody else's podcast into their political platform. And that is not what we're about. So.
Yeah. Yeah, Miss Jen, coffee.
The coffee is up and going. It is here. I don't know about y'all, but my coffee's awfully good this morning. I can't wait till my new batch gets in.
I keep the studio stocked up. Never run out. That's my motto. Never run out.
What was that whole thing that was on Galaxy Quest? Never give up, never surrender, never run out, never quit drinking.
Absolutely.
Mm. We'll get there. I bet she's got her coffee going already at this point. Now, then you have these sickos out there, and I'm not mean sickos. I mean these extraordinarily weird people that don't drink coffee. They just don't like it. And Miss Elizabeth is one of those. And we will have to address this tonight on the Mama Said, why she doesn't drink coffee. And she's going to say, well, I just don't like it. How can you not like coffee? I mean, you could hook it up to an IV and just go to town.
You can do a coffee enema. There's people get into that crap.
Well, we could have gone all day long without even that thought in here. What in the world?
That's your cleansing.
Cleansing?
That's what.
Why would you waste perfectly good coffee like that? I bet it really tastes like crap.
Well, you don't taste it. It's just cleansing. Your dark roast enema.
If it's not dark roast going in, I bet it's dark roast coming out.
Well, thank you, Barry.
Oh, well, we have tea too for the man that's more in touch with his feminine side.
We do have tea. The Earl Grey tea.
Good morning, Barry.
Captain Picard. Earl Grey. Oh, Lord.
You know, I'm not getting away with that. He's sitting over right now thinking of the perfect comment to come back on me.
I'm sure.
That's all right.
I'm sure.
I didn't realize that you were that in touch with yourself, Barry. I believe I'll have some tea this morning. You gotta get that pinky up, you know. I'll have some tea. We love you guys. Oh, there was some other stuff that went on this weekend. You hadn't got up yet to get coffee? Oh, there's Broski. Have you ever eaten dark chocolate covered espresso beans? I'm not a huge fan of dark chocolate. I have had chocolate covered espresso beans and they were pretty stinking good. It's not a huge fan of dark chocolate. Probably why I don't like coffee enemas.
I never have and never will, but there are people that can swear by it. Of course, there's a lot of people that swear by a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah. Richard Dreyfuss, one of the stars from Jaws, from way back when, was going down to in Tampa, Florida. You know, can you imagine a better person to go to Shark Con than Richard Dreyfuss, who played Matt Hooper in Jaws? And
cool.
He was unable to attend. You know, he's 77 now, Richard Dreyfuss. And for those of us who saw Jaws, you know, he's getting up there a little bit.
They're getting older, man.
Yeah, we're getting old too. What the heck? But he's got a viral form of bronchitis, and he didn't. The doctors told him not to fly, and it would have been a 5-hour flight to get there, and may make him sicker and didn't want to make anybody else sick. So he didn't make it, but he was very apologetic about it. I mean, you could tell from his comments, he really wanted to be there, and his wife's in the background talking and stuff. Uh, and you know, it was, I hate that he didn't make it there. That would be cool. I'd love to meet Richard Dreyfuss.
Wasn't it him that almost didn't make? They almost didn't choose him for that role. I know there was some that way movies are.
I think it was Robert Shaw, maybe. Let me see here.
I can't remember.
I generally am pretty up to date on mine.
And Shaw was unfortunately, a full blown alcoholic who, in his drunkenness, actually rolled some of those lines and it just went with it. It was better than what they had down, but unfortunately, he lost the battle with the drink. But it was epic. But it was a hard movie to make. It was not an easy movie.
Oh, it was horrible.
The shark never worked right. Never did what it was supposed to do.
No.
People got injured. It was not a fun experience, but the chemistry between them was great. That's what they look back on. But the actual making of the movie was horrible for the people involved because it just didn't work right. It's like I'll spin that around, no pun intended. When Motley Crue went out on tour on one of their tours, and Tommy Lee's drum kit was to spin, that never worked right. It worked about 20% of the time. It was a horrible experience for everybody involved. They said, we'll never do that again.
Yeah.
Sometimes things just don't work.
But that whole thing with Robert Shaw, that worked in Jaws. I mean, look at what he was playing. The character he was playing was an old drunken sea captain. Was there a better role for Robert Shaw to ever have played?
Yeah. Amazing actor. He had a problem.
Yeah.
I'm sure it cost him some parts.
Oh, I'm sure it did. But that whole iconic Quint look was just and some of the most iconic lines he delivered in that movie. It's like when he gets his whiskey that he made, and he's up there with his little shot glass and here's to swimming with bow-legged women. He's down the hatches and he sits there and thinks about it for a minute. It gives the audience time to catch up. And then he downs that. You had people out there like, what?
There's another scene where that lady slaps him in the face, the main character. There's
that was Roy Schreider.
That scene is a one-off, and there's really emotion there.
Yeah,
there were some things that happened that, they kept some things in the dark for the effect, which I'm okay with that. Sometimes I'm not. I think women have been abused on screen sometimes on things they've done. I'd run them up the flagpole if they try to do something like that. I mean, I don't know if you could get away with that today, but there's some of that to happen in movies where women have been slapped and they didn't know it was coming. And they kept that on secret for the effect. They're lucky they didn't get their eyes clawed out. But really, the strength of that movie is the characters themselves. if you look at it on a surface level, I mean, it wasn't like, I mean, everything happens on a beach or on a boat, most of it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to liven that up. I mean, it's not much you can do with it with the technology they had and everything. I mean, it was a lot of get out of the water.
Yeah. Well, and let's look at it. All right, you have a movie that's over what? I don't know how long it ran for, but how many actual deaths were in the movie? You had the girl at the beginning.
Yeah.
Everybody forgets the second victim. It was the dog, Pippin. Then you have the little Alice Kintner boy. Then it goes up into the pond. It gets the guy up in there. The fisherman it got, and Quinn in the movie. 6 people. In the whole movie, the shark gets 6 people. Well, 5 people and a dog. And everything else is close.
Yeah, until the second movie, he got a few more.
Yeah, but it was a different shark. Yeah, I mean, you might could have said after reading the first book that it came back, but no, he quit swimming. Great whites don't. They quit swimming, they're gone.
It was one of those movies where nobody knew what was going to happen. It could have been a massive flop. There were people that thought it might be as they were making that movie. It was just hard to make, and nobody knew. You have delays. They get a budget. There's a lot of things that happened, and that's one of the reasons they had trouble making that movie better. Was they run out of money. They couldn't. There were some things they couldn't do. They had to modify some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no more money to give.
And then there was the weather and everything else. If I remember right, it turned off cold, and it's supposed to be like over the 4th of July, and everybody running around in swimsuits. And it's done got cold out there.
Yeah.
My goodness. And that was up in New England. That was in Martha's Vineyard up there. I mean, it's cold up there in the wintertime. Said the fishermen and the people in the town was getting sick of it.
Oh, I bet.
The
guy that played the mayor played a good part too.
Yes.
He was perfect for that role.
I still think that I don't think they could have done a better job of casting almost any of those characters. Roy Schreider did the perfect Chief Brody. I don't think anybody could have done that better. Just enough authority to know what's going on to get himself in trouble. Didn't know squat about sharks, didn't know anything about it, and then all of a sudden he's thrown right in the middle of it. He's trying to protect people, but he ain't got a clue. He ain't never been on a boat in his life. He hates the water.
Hates the water.
That comes up several times. How do you live on an island if you hate the water? It's only an island if you're out on the water. And
good actor.
And the most iconic line to me ever spoken in a movie, when he's backing up into the ship, into the wheelhouse of Flint's boat, and he says, "You're gonna need a bigger boat."
Yeah.
True, Broski. Hey, Broski. Yeah. That was ad lib. That was completely ad lib. That wasn't in the script, and he just backed right up and delivered it. And can you imagine? He was on a paddleboard, wasn't he? Supposedly, or she, or whatever.
A lot of weird stuff with that one too.
A lot of weird stuff happens, and I just there's too much of it happens sometimes.
Mary Jo Kopechne. Lots of bad stuff up and around some of those areas.
Yep. Yes, you're right. Steve. He dropped that line and Spielberg was like, bro! That's totally how it went down. You're right. I believe. Well, and another ad lib moment in that movie was when Quint was talking about being on the Indianapolis. He just went off with it. He probably couldn't have repeated all that if he had to, but he just went off with it and they put it in there. He did some research beforehand and just boom.
Some actors are more geared towards that. They're not good line readers and memorizers, and they ad lib a lot. It can be hard because sometimes they mess up other actors, but sometimes you get gold. They learned in the Andy Griffith Show, let the guy that played Howard McNear, whatever his name was, who played Floyd, he was like that. He was constantly ad-libbing lines, but what he came up with was funnier than what they had.
Yeah.
But it wasn't on purpose. The guy just really wasn't good at. He'd get nervous, I guess, and he was just, they learned to roll with it, to embrace it.
Dave, I found something just for you this morning. Do you remember doing this? You had an awesome childhood?
I don't remember doing that.
Oh, you just ain't gonna let me hit it.
That'd be a lot of good. The freezers would be full for a while. You do it once, and you're good for a long time.
Sorry, that wasn't very nice of me to say this morning. Throw up there and be all ornery and stuff like that. I'm sorry. That wasn't very nice.
Doesn't bother me.
I know it don't. It still wasn't very nice. I could be nicer about it. Because you're not really that much older than I am.
I'm officially old now, and I know this. I've proved it. I told my church this weekend. Because a girl at the local drive-thru called me Pops the other day. It's over.
Oh.
They start calling you Pops. You're old. So I embrace it. It's okay.
Oh, the old Pops at the drive-thru.
Give me my senior discount, and I'll be happy. It's all good.
Oh.
She meant it as a term of endearment. She wasn't being mean. She's a nice girl. But for her, she looks forward to me coming through there. But she'd never called me that before. She looked around and said, "Hey, Pops."
Oh. It's horrible. Horrible day. Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. That was it was the first summer blockbuster. I mean, that was it.
I really don't remember, but interesting.
Mm.
And like I said, it could have flopped.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. Some movies you think are going to be big and they flop, and you might like them, but they just were horrible. The numbers were bad. And then sometimes you got something that just explodes out there, and you're like, wow.
And I think Jaws really showed the genius of Steven Spielberg, in the way that he filmed it, in the way that he built the tension, in the way that they used the music and everything to their benefits, and just kept the tension up. throughout the movie. Even something as simple as, when the Kittner boy got killed, something bad happened to a child. I mean, that in itself, that's I think one of the backbones of Stephen King was sometimes bad things happen to kids, you know, and they when they push that line, and they let something bad happen to the dog too, you know.
Yeah, there was a lot of concern. Like I said, it went over budget. Things didn't work right. That mechanical monstrosity was horrible.
Yeah.
And the whole crew, they're all just frustrated by the end. I'm sure they were all the shocked, like, wow, amazing.
Yeah.
Let's just move. I mean, they sure had the probably the attitude. Let's move on to the next movie.
Yeah.
Robert Shaw probably was like, well, there goes my career.
But then it turns into be this, 50 years later, we're still talking about it.
Well, the line the bigger boat is in the top 10 of all time lines in movies. It's remembered.
Oh yeah.
It's I mean, you got, Franklin, my darling, I don't give a, those things that stand over the test of time, that one stands out.
Yep. Well, just when you thought it was safe to go into the water. That was Jaws 2, though. Just when you thought it was safe to go back into the water. Oh,
it took a lot, because when you think about action movies, a lot of people for your summer blockbuster, they want action. It does have action, but the guy's like an anti-hero, man. He's not. I mean, he's just not that guy. It's really amazing they pulled it off.
yeah.
I mean, he's not Schwarzenegger jumping in the water with a bullet strapped around him, shooting at the thing. This guy's an anti-hero. He's not. He doesn't. I mean, he's at one point.
You don't really want to be there.
About everybody in the town hates the guy's guts except his own family.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like a suicide waiting to happen. I mean, at certain points during that movie, I mean, his career's in the tank. I mean, they're threatening to fire the guy. You're running off the customers.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're hurting our business.
Yeah.
He's just trying to keep them safe, and everybody feels sorry for him, and all the business owners like, get the hell out of here, go away. My goodness. They play it up a lot more in the book, but he really, really did not like the water. That was the whole thing. He hated the water.
And on the flip side of that, which it's funny you like the movie, because it absolutely did great harm for
It did.
the attitude toward sharks.
It did.
Without a doubt.
It sure did. Whereas on some weirdos out there like me, it made them love them even more. That movie was, my mom took me to see that movie when it came out when I was like 5 or 6. Okay. And I watched the whole thing, and it was, I'd already loved sharks, and that just made me even love them even more. I don't know why. But then they created Sharknado. There was a cool scene with a shark swam out of the ocean and then ate the plane. No.
Well, that created a whole bunch of things after that. You had piranhas. I mean, they were trying to come up with every sea creature they could, after that.
Orca. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Piranha.
Probably not, Broski.
Probably not. You never watched Jaws? Please tell me that ain't so. How can you not have watched Jaws? Oh,
And to this day, I think it's still there at Universal Studios. They still have it's
yeah.
part of their attractions is Jaws. I've been there. We've been on that ride. Scared my wife half to death. She didn't see the fish coming. I said, "Hey, look!" She looked over there. She about jumped out the other side of the boat.
Yeah, there was, and it's not just that. I mean, the sharks and the piranhas and everything else, and the orcas and the look. Years and years later, they made a movie called Lake Placid about a giant crocodile somewhere in New England. If y'all haven't seen that one, it's got Betty White and Bill Pullman, and it's pretty good. Uh, you would enjoy it for the most part. But yeah, they're still yeah. That is true, Celtic. And you need to watch that one. Watch it here during the summertime. Yeah.
Maybe
Georgia.
we need maybe we need a new one. Killer bass,
Nah.
fisherman on the run, big mouth bass jumping out of the water, latching on people's heads.
Oh.
A,
They don't really have
a
teeth.
mutant version of bass that because of
Oh.
nuclear waste or something has created just a killer species of bass.
The ingredients in the rubber worms, the chemicals in that have mutated them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fishermen are bringing about their own demise. Snakehead fish. Ugh.
There's a lot of videos out there with you'd think there were killer squirrels. These videos where people got these door cameras and stuff, and they get hit by the snakes and squirrels and everything else. Those are hilarious. I know it wasn't at the time for the people, but
Oh yeah. Broski
I've
stole them
seen
out. Meg, the Shallows, Deep Blue Sea, Ghost Shark, The Reef, all shark movies. There's a bunch more too, dude. I mean, Sharknado. Throw that out there.
I don't think I've seen any of them but Deep Blue Sea.
47 meters where they were underwater and there was sharks above them. Yeah, there's just a ton of them now. This summer, it's part bass, part barracuda. It's the Bassacuda. See if I do that in my good. This summer, it's part bass, part barracuda. It's the Bassacuda. There you go. That blame it. I believe it'd be better like this right here, possibly. This summer, it's part bass and it's part barracuda. It's the Bassacuda. We're gonna name it Lady Bird. Hmm. And there was all the alligator.
Or you could drop the B off of that. That'd be a whole nother type of movie.
That'd be a new nickname for AOC. Steve. You're welcome. He's not going to be able to sleep for 3 weeks. He'll be like, ooh, as a Gouda.
Some people are saying that's their boss.
I've heard on the coast they have problems with the tiger shrimp. I was on a larger shrimp with taste. AOC, the horse-faced Asacuda. Amazing. Broski, you're going to hurt his feelings. Would you buy that movie? I'd buy that movie. Damn good movie.
Oh,
man. They would. That'd be the song for that Blondie. Ooh, that's a
Get that out of your mind today.
It's
Crap there.
Monday. We started Steve's off way. Broski said, nay, nay. He's coming for your gas stove. You gonna better cook no ass cuda up now.
Is that we could have that as a new nickname for the Democratic Party.
That's a cuda. Yes.
As they go visit Alligator Alcatraz.
Ooh.
Dun dun dun. It's the arrival of the Asakunas.
All right. Hey, Celine Dion has a stretched out horse face, and she was a fine looking woman, even though she's French Canadian. Look, if you could get over her face, you were all right. But that's a lot to get over. I think my face was prettier than hers.
That's a new idea too. I've never seen the killer horses running through your town, kicking and biting, bucking.
Well, they actually had a movie. I was going to say pigs, but they actually did have a movie called Razorback years ago. It was in Australia about a giant boar that went crazy. In the Australian outback. Just when you thought it was safe to be an Aussie again.
Quigley Down Under, one of my favorite all-time movies.
Absolutely.
Love that movie.
And it was a great concept on that one too.
Roy.
Yeah. Your man sure is a good shot, huh? I don't know who that is. Oh. And the music for it is a big part of the epicness of it. You know,
Yeah.
the easy layback do 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 do. You know, it just and it was a really good story too. And another epic line at the end of that. You know, well, Darren said, "So you've been to Dodge City? Yeah, it was a good place to get some sleep." You know.
My favorite's at the end when he said he didn't think he could use a shotgun.
Yeah.
I never said I couldn't shoot him.
Yeah.
He thought he had him.
Yeah. I never said I just said I didn't like to use them. I didn't have much need to use them one. Didn't say I didn't know how to.
Oh, it's the horses. Look out.
I just remembered one. There was a movie that had a horse attack in it. In the original Police Academy, when they had the instructor, whatever, there goes flying off of his motorcycle, and there's the horse there, and the horse raises his tail, and he, you know, and they didn't, they didn't actually show it, but you know, then later on, he's walking up and down the aisles, and the guy that does all the voices like,
I got you, buddy. Yeah. No doubt. Absolutely.
or they even let the horse. Usually, if you let the horse know you're there, you'll be all right. You know, reach up, pat him on, you know, the rump, whatever, let him know you're there. But just to walk behind one, no.
And Barry, he would not care if she was there. He would gladly shut down the forge.
Oh, he wouldn't need the forge. He'd have all new kind of heat. Oh, they be having the heat, passion.
Well, he'd be airing on a whole different channel. It wouldn't be Rumble. Then
There'd be a whole new OnlyFans out there.
yeah, yeah,
Oh
it
my
would be
God.
very different. We'll leave it there, but that'd be a whole different scene.
Go listen to Dave. He's talking crazy. Ain't no way a woman's gonna get between me and my forge. You won't even need that forge, Steve. You don't need that forge no more. Come on, baby. We got the heat of passion. It'll be okay. In the heat of the night.
No, he's probably got that. What's that? What's that disco song? God, it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it. It's an old disco era song.
Hmm.
It's on all them 70s movies, late 70s. That's the
Stay
song we're
alive.
playing.
He says, I could just use the forge to win over a replacement for the woman. What? AOC is so Latina, she doesn't even speak Spanish. She's so from the Bronx, she grew up in the suburbs. Look, look, I don't think Steve's really all that interested in her credibility. I think he's more interested in her as a CUDA. I'm just saying.
Wow. Wow.
What? All right. Y'all have a good Monday. Y'all get out there, start your week off right. We hope we got you a good start this morning. And we will see y'all tonight for Mama Said. Dave, you got anything else before we get out here? I know you got to get to work. We done run over a
No,
little bit.
headed to work.
All right. Steve says she speaks enough language, enough Spanish. If not, she's going to learn today. Oh, my goodness. All right. Steve, go brush up on your Spanish. Broski, y'all have a good day. You too, Janet, Barry, and everybody else out there. Dave, we'll see you tonight, sir.
Absolutely.
All right. Y'all have a good
You up, we start you right. We rock your mornings all the time. You grab your coffee